Good morning, everybody, and welcome to your Daily Bite-Sized News. I'm Paul Brooker, and wow, the world is reacting now to the Alaska summit where Putin and Trump had a meeting. We've now got all the European leaders flocking to Trump to try and work out what was said, and they are trying to ascertain what the deal might be for peace in Ukraine. Who knows, but let's dive into the news and find out. Ukraine's drone commander says his forces have disabled Russia's Druzhba pipeline, a key route supplying oil to Hungary and Slovakia. Both countries' confirmed deliveries have been halted, though Moscow has not acknowledged an attack. Ukraine claims drones struck a pumping station in Russia's Tambov region. Hungary's foreign minister called the strike outrageous and unacceptable, accusing Kiev of trying to drag Hungary into the war. Ukraine's foreign minister shot back, saying Budapest should blame Moscow for its reliance on Russian energy. What could bring 21 million people into the streets of Iraq? For days they walk under the blazing sun, moved by grief, resilience and faith. This is Abain, one of the largest gatherings on earth. It commemorates Imam Hussein, grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, who was martyred in Karbala 1400 years ago. But Abain is more than ritual. It's a journey of resistance, unity and hope. Pilgrims walk from across Iraq and beyond, from Iran, Pakistan, India, Africa and even Europe and Russia. Along the way they're fed, sheltered and cared for by thousands of volunteers. For millions, Abain is not just remembrance of the past, it's a living symbol of endurance, faith and the struggle against oppression. US President Donald Trump says Vladimir Putin has agreed to security guarantees for Ukraine. The announcement came just days after their summit in Alaska, a meeting both leaders called a positive step towards peace. Trump, joined at the White House by President Zelensky and Ukraine's European backers, said the goal is to find an agreement that deters future aggression. While NATO membership is off the table, Washington has hinted at Article 5-like protections. For Ukraine, these guarantees could mark the beginning of a lasting settlement if Moscow follows through. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has thanked Russian President Vladimir Putin for briefing him on last week's Alaska summit with US President Donald Trump. The talks, the first between Putin and Trump since 2018, focused on ways to end the Ukraine conflict, which both leaders described as constructive. Modi reiterated India's call for peace through dialogue and diplomacy, saying he welcomes continued exchanges with Moscow. The call came just hours before Zelensky and European leaders met Trump at the White House to discuss Ukraine's future. The African Union is calling for an end to the use of the Meseta World Map, a 16th century projection that dramatically shrinks Africa's true size. Critics say the map, designed for navigation, distorts reality by enlarging regions near the poles, while minimising Africa, reinforcing stereotypes of the continent as marginal. Backed by advocacy groups, the Correct the Map campaign urges schools, governments and institutions to adopt the Equal Earth projection, which shows Africa's true scale as the world's second largest continent. The AU says it's about reclaiming Africa's rightful place on the global stage. Ukrainian President Zelensky says security guarantees for his country could be finalised within 10 days, tied to a proposed $90 billion US arms package. Speaking after talks in Washington with Donald Trump and European leaders, Zelensky said Ukraine would also partner with the US on drone production. Trump confirmed he's working to arrange a direct Zelensky-Putin meeting, followed by a trilateral summit. European leaders stressed that Ukraine's security is tied to the future of Europe itself. Meanwhile, Russian strikes on Kharkiv and Zaporozhye killed at least 10 civilians as diplomacy continues. Texas Democrats have returned to the Capitol after a 2-week walkout aimed at blocking Republican redistricting plans. This time they're under police escort to prevent another escape, with officers even shadowing lawmakers to offices, meals and drives home. Republicans say the move clears the way to deliver former President Trump's push for new congressional maps, while Democrats vow to fight the changes in court. Meanwhile, California Democrats are launching their own redistricting effort in retaliation, putting the nation's two largest states at the centre of a high-stakes battle for control of Congress. Hurricane Erin has weakened slightly to a Category 3 storm, but forecasters warn it remains an unusually large and dangerous hurricane. The system is packing sustained winds of 125 miles per hour as it moves northwest, about 780 miles southeast of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. The National Hurricane Center says Erin could continue fluctuating in strength, but is expected to remain a major hurricane through midweek. Life-threatening surf and rip currents are forecast along the east coast, with storm watches already issued for parts of the Bahamas and North Carolina's Outer Banks. This Friday, all eyes will be on Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell at the Jackson Hole Economic Summit. Investors are watching to see if he signals a possible interest rate cut in September amid a recent slowdown in the job market. Powell could take three paths: hint at a rate cut, warn that inflation remains high and a cut isn't likely, or stay non. A federal judge in Texas has allowed a multi-state lawsuit against BlackRock, Vanguard and State Street to move forward. The case, led by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and joined by 10 other states, accuses the asset managers of conspiring through climate initiatives to pressure coal producers into cutting output, allegedly driving up US energy costs. The firms deny the claims, calling them baseless and warning the case could harm investors. Judge Jeremy Knodel ruled there's enough evidence to proceed, though he noted the states may struggle to prove a conspiracy in court. In crypto news, a major story is unfolding as Gemini, the cryptocurrency exchange, has secured a significant credit line from Ripple. This is a strategic move for Gemini ahead of its planned IPO, giving them access to $75 million credit facility. This loan comes with an annual interest rate of up to 8.5% and could potentially be increased to $150 million. The agreement also includes a key detail that could boost Ripple's own stablecoin, RLUSD, which could be used for future loans. Meanwhile, the broader crypto market is under pressure. Bitcoin, Ethereum and Ripple have all fallen due to heightened macro concerns, triggering over $500 million in forced selling of long positions over the past 24 hours. Despite this, institutional interest remains strong. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs continue to see billions in net inflows, showing that big money is still bullish on the future of crypto. We'll continue to track this story and the market's reaction. That was your news on Tuesday the 19th of August 2025. Thanks for watching. For all your latest crypto news, head over to xrpboys.com, and for all my other contents, head over to brooker.tv. All that's left for me to say is take care, God bless, and see you all soon. Bye now.